So bearing with me here, like how my mind's working right now. Thinking about last Saturday, Hans Rosling tweeting about once every 40 seconds globally someone takes their life. Reading a tweet today led me to a post, kind of the brief history of math in the U.S. I think it even was in the U.S. And I need to finish that, but maybe halfway through, and talking about the math wars and talking about that it was between content and pedagogy. Deciding what needs to be taught and then how it needs to be taught and which comes first. And everyone knows that's a heated debate. Watching a girl walk to school today, the saddest look on her face. Who knows what that story is? Reading research on how math affects kids, having local research done on kids who, end up dropping out and trailing it back to their first unsuccessful math tests, having taught math for 20 years and always asking about their math history and or school history, but it always goes back to this grade teacher, math teacher I didn't like, or I loved it till this particular time, almost always in elementary school. All that mixed together. And what we're doing now is we're spending tons and tons of money on political campaigns to argue it more. Things like that. I just hear all this screaming in my head. The biggest pushback is always, what about the basics? And in this article too, it was emphatically saying that there's no doubt in math that you have to have the prereqs. Who says? And maybe it's true. Maybe they can be emphatic about that because it's true, but it doesn't mean we do the prereqs the way we've been doing it. Someone decides they want to know something because they're doing it. They want to know it. Then maybe in that moment in time, in 10 minutes, in an hour, in a week, they scaffold through, But the way we've done it in a year's time, in 10 years' time, the scaffolding, and obviously add in extra stuff that's not needed. And okay, so now you look at the second biggest pushback, or who knows what the order is, and if there's just two or whatever, but if I'm going to go into the operating room, I want a doctor who has those degrees, quite honestly, especially after reading this article. If I'm going to go in the operating room, I would rather know that I was in the right operating room and they were planning to do the right procedure on me. And I think that's part of all the malpractice that happens today. It's not that there's evil people that just wanted to get money and so wanted to be a doctor. It is, however, that is our acclaimed success, and so people head towards that without really questioning it. And we have so many hurdles to jump through that it's easy to lose focus. So somewhere along the way we lose track of this human encounter and healing, and we start focusing more on procedure. so I'm listening to the radio on the way here. A guy was at a pool. I think it was his son, but some kid was drowning. He noticed it before the lifeguard jumped in, got him out, got the water. He was obviously in trouble, spewed water out of his mouth, and blah, blah, blah. They were critiqued. The mom and the dad were critiqued on what they had done, that the dad shouldn't have brought a bottle onto the pool deck. The mom should not have yelled the dad's name. She should have yelled help. And we forget that we're humans. And we're so concerned about efficiency. I think a lot of it comes down to trust. Because of our lack of trust everywhere, trusting people enough to give them the truth, because we think if they have the truth, they won't support us, or we end up spending years debating what math to teach and how to teach it. And perhaps it's the wrong operating room and we've got the wrong procedure. Imagine what we could be doing if we were freeing people up and if we were trusting that learning is natural and that people are good.